Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 2021 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Gemini, July 2021 full moon. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is the energy that grounds us. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy, and we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. Then we have the Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We have the 10 of Wands, and we have the Empress, which is beautiful. There's something here that we're finally giving birth to. We're finally letting come forward into the world, which is going to be very powerful for us. We have the Knight of Pentacles, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and we have the Queen of Swords, which represents us as Geminis. It also represents the full moon in Aquarius on the 23rd of July and also on the 22nd of August. And then we have the the public arena, which is the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, doing what we love and making money off of it, having prosperity come within our lives. And this can be after a time of discord and disharmony. We're finding that peace again. This moon is bringing us into peace, into alignment with ourselves. Now, on the 23rd of July, we have the full moon in Aquarius, right? And then on the 22nd of August, we have the full moon in Aquarius. And this I have checked numerous places, all my go-to places for checking the moon, for looking at these things. And the thing is that on the 23rd of July, the moon is in Capricorn until 8:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is when it moves into Aquarius, and the full moon comes into its full power at 10:37 p.m. So according to everything that I've looked at, this moon starts off in Capricorn and then moves into Aquarius, which is where the power of this moon is going to be coming from. Now, on the 23rd of July, we have the full moon telling us to surrender to the divine, that is where our power comes from, as the moon always tells us. But with the full moon in Aquarius, it says, show the world the real you. And that's going to be something that we have slowly and steadily been building to within our hearts. And so showing the real world the real us at this time can seem ghastly overwhelming and absolutely out of our realm of comprehension or comfort during this time. Now, with the full moon, it talks about home and family and intimate relationships. It all comes into focus now during this full moon and 2 weeks following this full moon phase, during this full moon phase. Now, opposing energies start to come up during this full moon, and they're going to be made very prominent to us during this time. The opposing energy of work and home, wants and needs, spiritual energy and public energy, the energy that the world is calling us to be a part of. And this is also a time where emotions and instincts reach their peak. The full moon brings these forward. That's why it's so important to surrender to the divine during this time, because our increased emotional awareness needs to guide us, and we need to embrace our intuition to guide us forward. What we are going to see here is that we will clearly see our relationship dynamics, for better or for worse, and also the negativity within the relationships causing disharmony. So this is going to be a time where we really need to be kinder to ourselves, where we really need to understand that things are unveiling. It's going to be kind of like the layers of an onion, and the layers of the onion is appropriate because as we peel it back, it can make us cry. It can be overwhelming. It can sting us in a way that we don't want to be stung, in a way that we don't want to have to deal with. Now, the moon is quincus Venus during this time, which increases our need for love and affection. But of course, we're seeing everything so openly, so honestly, that it can make it overwhelming. This also brings tension into our relationships because we're hypersensitive to the imbalances around our emotional support and our love. And this imbalance also has to do with ourselves during this time. We feel imbalance with our self-love and our feeling of connection with ourselves. So it can almost feel as if we're out in the cold when it comes to relationships. And being a Gemini, we're going to need to talk about this. We're going to need to communicate. Now, it can be with others, but it's also going to have to be with ourselves. How do we move ourselves forward to love? How do we embrace self-love? How do we embrace our relationships, warts and all? Now, also, the sun is quincus Jupiter, and I think I'm saying quincus right, but it is quite an odd word. And this is creating tension within our personal success. And what this is doing is this is pushing us to be highly successful during this time, highly ambitious. We're wanting to embrace this energy and just release the tension by going after, by pushing harder and harder and harder. This makes us appear astoundingly lucky. People around us, not only just us, but people around us, because the sun is quincus Jupiter, are going to seem very, very lucky. But there's also going to be this level of discord to them. And because we're so in tune with relationships during this time, it can be rather overwhelming to us that, they're succeeding and yet they're not happy. And yet we're succeeding and yet we're not happy. So what we need to do is to understand that we are not our achievements. We're going to put so much of our own personal self-identity into our achievements that this could be where the self-love comes from. And the hardship with self-love, because we're only going to love ourselves if we keep on performing better and better and better, if we keep on pushing harder and harder and harder. And that's going to be something that we have to be mindful of. It can also lead us into greed, guilt, and addictions. So we need to be very mindful of how we let this energy pull us forward. Also, Venus is opposite Jupiter, which is very good for socializing, loving, and relaxing, but it also makes us lazy and careless. So even though we have this tremendous power to succeed with the Sun, Quincus, Jupiter, we can also kind of drop the ball and then be astoundingly hard on ourselves. The new moon is on the 8th of August, and the new moon is in Leo. And it says here, a new start is coming, as all new moons bring, and it brings us to beginnings. But what we're going to see is that confidence is our key to success. But the new moon is also going to be squared Uranus, which brings us to sudden and unexpected change. It brings us instability, chaos, and revelations. And yet, we can't stop the change. The change is going to be something that can absolutely sweep us up. Confidence is going to be our key to success, but this moon can amplify our ego and our pride, making us highly impulsive and bringing us to this abruptness that we need to be mindful of, that can almost seem a bit cruel, especially when combined with Gemini energy of going and succeeding and just kind of boiling things down to logic and facts. So we do have to be mindful of this. It is a good time. It is not a good time for impulsive change. Yet we're going to think that it is the best time for impulsive change. We do not want to be impulsive. What we want to be is we want to react to change in situations and things with flexibility, creativity, and inventiveness, looking at things outside of the box. The universe is going to send us messages of change. This is going to be a time with this new moon where we can't stop the change from coming. What we have to embrace is a brave new path that will be making itself clear to us, and open our minds to these opportunities, to the sense of things are going to kind of be moving out of my sphere of understanding. I have to keep my mind open to be able to go, to be able to embrace, to be able to enhance my own power, my own self, and my own desires during this time. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this moon. What is the energy that Gemini needs to be mindful of during the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. It's the Lord. It's Aries energy. It's also going to be the sense of kind of might equals right. And that's going to play very much into the new moon energy, but also into the Sun, Quincus, Jupiter during this time, where we're going to think the harder we work, the more we go after things, the more right, the more powerful we will be. The Lord, we're going to be very attracted to people who seem to have all the answers. But here's the thing. What might be right for me might be horribly wrong for you. So what we have to understand is that what might be right for one person does not have to be right for another. And also, we cannot compare ourselves to somebody who has been doing something for, let's say, 40 years or 50 years or even, 10 years, 5 years, and we're just starting out. We have to take things and say, this is a good day. This is a good day because I did these things that are propelling me forward, because I started off kindly to myself. We're going to have a tendency to be very harsh to ourselves and play off rather extreme energy during this time, and we have to be mindful of that, because that's just going to be exhausting. Now let's see our chakra energy for this time. Gemini. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. And it's inspiration. Now, this is the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is one of my favorite chakras because it's so complex. It's where our creativity and sexual energy is held, but it's also where our drama from this life and from past lives are held. So when we have inspiration here, where we have this imagery of the new dawn coming forward, we are going to be inspired to create and to move forward strongly and powerfully in a new dawn, in a new power of ourselves. What our greatest what our greatest hardship is going to be over this time period, but also our greatest triumph during this time is to release the past life hurts and pains, past dramas that are still defining us, and be able to move forward in our creative energy, and also being kinder to ourselves, saying, I can embrace this creative energy because I am doing things differently. I'm doing things in a way that are right for me, not in a way that is right for everybody else. There could be something that we want to do. It could be artistic. You could want to write a book or create a painting or, do something. And we think, I have to have training to do it. What we have to do is we have to start. And we have to just tell the stories. However the stories come out of us, that's what life is about. That's what the tarot is about. That's what existence is. That's what human beings are. We are all stories. And to embrace those stories is to embrace the never-ending beauty that is us. And that leads us to the death card. That leads us to the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, to the hidden beauties and triumphs and hardships and despairs that make up everybody's journey, and that we don't see because our world is all about editing for perfection. And it's not a new thing. The Victorians used to edit their pictures. That's why backgrounds used to be plain colored so they could, paint in their waist to make it look more singed. This is what we do as human beings. We want to portray the best possible, the most envious part of ourselves forward. It's nothing new. The ancient Egyptians did it, the ancient Romans did it, we do it today. And the death card is this sense of, I am changing, I am evolving, I am becoming, and it is time to show the world the real me. It is time to embrace my beauty, my understanding, my complexity, my insights, my ideas. As I move forward, the Hermit is saying that as we have this dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, as we have the bone right here, which is also a good luck symbol, there is the sense of the scythe. We can look at the scythe as also a horn, which is a good luck symbol, a sign of warding off evil, a sign of fertility and prosperity and bounty. It moves us to the Hermit, which is this energy of, I need to be in silence. I need to be in communion, in harmony, in meditation with myself, with what I desire, with my dreams and my wishes. Aquarius energy is the star. The star is in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It is the light within the lantern that guides the Hermit, our dreams and our wishes, a bit of the heavens that gets to be a part of us. In ancient times, the stars guided ships, and so did birds. It sounds like poetry, but it was reality. And this is a time where poetry and reality can intertwine quite beautifully, where we can be guided by stars, where we can be guided by our dreams, and why we need to be guided by our dreams. But there's going to be such a need to step back, to step into ourselves, to say, I'm here. I'm here connecting. I'm here harmonizing. I'm here trying. And it could be that harmony can be one of the toughest things to have during this time. It can be chaos and doubt and fear, anger and upset, and just this turmoil that makes us feel like we're not good enough. But, what we're going to see is that if we step out of what the world expects of us, and we step into what our heart desires of us, we start to see things in such a different way. The Knight of Cups here isn't a person writing anything. It is a woman naked in the water, with the whole sea open to her, a whale's tail or a fish's tail in the distance. This is a time where beauty guides us, and where we lay ourselves bare to the moving of the tides, to the waxing, the waning, the fullness of the moon. And we start to see who we are as we change our faces, as we change our desires, as we change our dreams, as we go in the cycles of maiden, mother, and crone, as we move in the cycle of youth, maturity, and wisdom. And it moves us to a place where we start to understand the burdens that we carry. But we also start to relieve ourselves of the burdens that we carry. We can't always be moving an unbearable weight. We can't always be carrying everybody else's dreams, ambitions, and desires. We can't always be carrying our own dream, ambitions, and desires. We have to let them come into the world. We have to let ourselves come into the world. And this is a time where we start to bring that which is most sacred to us home. And we start to build the fire of our ambition, of our desire, not for the outward success of everybody else, but for the inward success of ourselves. And it leads us to the Empress. It leads us to being pregnant with possibilities. It brings us to a place where we birth forward ideas. It can be the birthing forward of a child. It can be a realization of a dream of parenthood or, fostering or whatever it is. But it can also be the birthing forward of a dream, a taking of an idea that we have always had and bringing it into the world slowly and steadily, painfully and beautifully, as we work to get it just right, and knowing all the time that there are failures along the way, that a dream will never quite be, in reality, the same beauty, the same luster, the same intensity that we had hoped it would be, but it can be close. And the Empress is a reclaiming of a throne, a reclaiming of a passion, a reclaiming of a beauty that we thought was lost along the way, that we gave up on, that we walked away from. And now we are holding it back again. And in our hearts, we are slowly and steadily moving forward towards prosperity and success. We are slowly and steadily finding our voice and our way. It has taken us far longer than we would like to mention, but it has given us a reason and a purpose. We have slowly and steadily built something that lasts like the pyramids. Maybe not forever for everybody to see, but an immovable structure within our souls and ourselves that get to shine bright. They get to align with the stars and our wishes. They get to lead us forward. The Knight of Pentacles is us steadily moving towards our goals, and our hearts holding the seeds that we nourish, create, and foster. It brings us to the Queen of Swords. It brings us to the warrior queens that we are. This isn't a time to be showy. The kings are more showy. They're the actors upon the stage. For me, the queens are the directors behind the scenes. They don't need to be seen all the time, and they don't want to be seen all the time. What they want is for it to be done right, for it to be focused on clearly, for there to be connection. And that's going to be the important thing for us during this time. The important thing for us with this moon and then the next moon to come. That there is a connection, that there is a power, that there is a beauty, that there is a brilliance, and that we get to move forward in it. That we don't lose ourselves to other people's ambition. That we stay to our ambition for the place that our souls want to be, not for the bank accounts, though money is important, and I will never tell you that it isn't. Being without money is terrifying. Embracing wealth and prosperity and having bounty be a part of us is important, and that's what we're slowly and steadily building here. It does not come quickly, and it will not happen like a tidal wave overnight. This is something that has been slow building and powerfully achieved. It moves us to this place of honing our skills. There's a reason why we were represented by the only weapon within the tarot, the sword. Because the mind and the tongue and the way that we express and our words, they can be weapons. Powerful. There's a reason why in ancient times, and even today, that the artists and the scholars are the first to go when civilizations are taken over by dictators. And so here we are embracing our power of creativity, the resonance of our voice, the intrigue of ourselves, the idea. And we are moving forward within it. The sword is held only by nobility, and so we are embracing our noble spirits. Our ability to fly free, our ability to embrace what we want. It brings us to the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. And what's so interesting here is it almost feels like we are finding that happily ever after once again. We are finding that beauty. We are finding that harmony within ourselves. We are finding the brilliance within our hearts and our souls and what we desire. The Ten of Cups is telling us, excuse me, that what we love and what brings us joy is enough. We always chase the higher and the better. But why not start to say, I have a pretty good life? Or why not start to say, I understand what I want to change, but I'm embracing what I love each and every day. I focus and give thanks to what has made my heart sing. Even if it's just the clouds in the sky, even if it's just a rainstorm that was desperately needed, or, a sunny day where you can go and sit outside, the vegetables ripening on the vine. Whatever it is, this is giving thanks. In the public arena, if we start to give thanks instead of cursing, because so often we curse things. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh my gosh, I'm running late. Oh my goodness this. Oh my goodness that. But we don't give thanks. We don't say, okay, you know what? Fine. I'm not going to be on time, but thank you for letting the car run. I'm not going to be getting things done as quickly as I wanted to, but I'm doing things well and to the best of my ability, and that is enough. It moves us to the Queen of Pentacles. We have 2 queens and an Empress here. There's sacred feminine energy around us. We need to embrace it. It moves us here to prosperity. The Queen of Swords has a raven flying above her. The Queen of Pentacles has a dove. There's a sense of freedom. There's a sense of lightness. There's a sense of song being important. One being soft and gentle, the coo of a dove. The other being jarring and maybe off-putting, the caw of a raven. With the Queen of Pentacles, we are embracing prosperity that we have nourished for a very long time. People are seeing us as wealthy, or what they value as much as wealth coming forward, or what we value as much as wealth coming forward, and they're trying to figure out what the radiance is around us, why it is that people see us as successful, as bountiful, as powerful. The Queen of Pentacles is opening up the door for us. The Queen of Pentacles is saying, sure, I've made mistakes in my life. Yes, things have gone wrong. Yes, mishaps and misfortunes, sure. But I hold what is dear. And I bring forward bounty time and time again. The Queen of Pentacles does not relay her failures, does not play them over in her mind, never ending and never giving herself a break. The Queen of Pentacles nourishes the seeds that have taken root, the harvest that is coming. And she spends her time focusing on that bounty. And that's what this time is for us. As we slowly and steadily move forward, as we birth something beautiful into our own psyche, into our own creative abilities, into ourselves. So let's see what this moon has to say. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. How will Gemini be affected by the July 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. At our root, we have a personal issue reaches resolution, darkness. Our inner self, your dreams need a practical plan, abundance. Our hearts, your commitment is being tested, growth. And in the public arena, conclusions are within reach, extremes come forward. I like this. Nothing is going to be easy, though it seldom ever is. What it is going to be is it's going to be highly rewarding personally. A personal issue reaches resolution. As we get to the darkness of the moon, as we embrace the new moon, as we embrace our new selves, as we look within the darkness of death and the hermit and see the contemplative power that is a part of us. Your dreams need a practical plan. And that will bring forward abundance. That's as we lay ourselves bare, as we embrace the waters, the tides of this moon, as we carry what is needed forward, we bring forth creation. We birth something into existence. And it's our dreams. Our dreams need a practical plan. You need to have a plan, or something kind of resembling a plan when you're giving birth, when you're, bringing something forward. And it brings us abundance. We need to have a practical plan. We need to look at things and kind of think of in the realm of, in 9 months, there will be a being here. That's going to be the energy that we need to take during this time. Not someday I will create something, but I have this time frame. And it's not holding strictly to rules, because that's something we need to be mindful of with the new moon in Leo, that we're going to want to stubbornly stick to a schedule and say, you know what, it doesn't matter what's happening, I need to stick to this schedule, which can be absolutely maddening, because life will throw curveballs in the way that are going to force you to embrace flexibility. During this time, our dreams need a practical plan. It brings us abundance. It brings us passion. It brings us to where we desire being. And that practicality just opens up the door for us. Your commitment is being tested. During this time, our steady movement forward, our desire to claim our throne, our battle skills for ourselves, and the reason why we're on this earth, being tested. If we take that test and meet it head on, if we pass that test, if we even just try for that test, there is tremendous growth. And there is the possibility for tremendous growth during this time. Conclusions are within reach, but it brings us to extremes. This is a time where we are embracing extremes left and right, where we have to look at them openly and honestly, and look at ourselves openly and honestly. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message, which is expect powerful change. That's what so much of this time is about. And it brings us then to wisdom. So as we expect powerful change, we need to follow the wisdom within our lives, within ourselves, that guide us forward. We need to look at our wisdom openly and honestly. We need to look at ourselves and see us as wise beings being guided by divinity. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is going to be the Prince of Swords. We have to be very mindful of just saying, screw it, I'm charging forward, and being very drawn to people who are just doing something. And that something is going to be so attractive to us, but they need to be doing the right something. They need to not just be, it's not chaos for the sake of chaos. It's change for the sake of embracing the power that they were born with on this earth. And that's going to be something we need to be mindful of. Our subconscious chakra energy is the I Am Presence, which is my absolute favorite card. It is the crown chakra. And it's saying here, what am I? My I Am Presence. What am I crowning myself with? What crown do I wear? Is my I Am Presence, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am prosperous, I am intelligent, I am successful, I am unstoppable? Or is it, I am tired, I am overwhelmed, I am underappreciated, I am on my last nerve, I am pulled in so many different directions, I am not seen? And the reason why I say the negative as well as the positive, because whenever anybody states the positive things, I'm right there with them. I'm like, yes, that's what I am. Yes, yes, yes. But then if they stop and state the negative, and I'm honest with myself, well, then I have to call myself out. Because I am tired. I am overwhelmed. I am pulled in 500,000 different directions, and I have to honor that within myself if I want to be able to harmonize me. And if that's true for me, I'm not unique. It is true for so many people. And so once we see that, once we call it out, we can move ourselves forward in a powerful way, in a way that crowns us with a crown of splendor instead of a crown of despair. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message, which is the Empress. Again, the Empress. We have had the Empress twice now from 2 separate decks. We are birthing something powerful during this time. The creative energy is flowing within us. It's inspiring us. There's a new dawn. There's a new power moving us forward. Heck, there's even a new self coming forward during this time. We need to embrace it. It brings us to our subconscious inner self. which is judgment. Rising from the ashes, our inner self is rising from the ashes to a place of power, to a place of inspiration, and to a place of determination. We can't continue down an old path anymore. There's going to be this need for something new, something exciting. And that's why we have to be very mindful with the Knight of Swords. It's like, I just want to go, because that's our knight. Our knight is the Knight of Swords. We're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. And we can just court change for the sake of change. It doesn't matter what it is. We just want something new. During this time, we have to be very mindful of that energy, of not pulling ourselves down just to see what happens. Our subconscious emotional energy is the Page of Cups. During this time, we are going to be students of our heart. We are going to find inspiration coming from the most unlikely of places. The water calls to us. The movements of the moon call to us. The movements of our blood and our soul call to us. And we need to study it. The whys and the how comes. And the beauty that guides us forward. It moves us to our subconscious public arena. Which is the Five of Pentacles. We have so much blessings, so many blessings coming forward. We have the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, blessings, blessings, blessings. But then we have conclusions are within reach, but extremes come forward. And the extremes are the poverty mentality. The Five of Pentacles, the sense that we are supposed to be out in the cold, away from the wealth, away from the celebration, away from the others, because we do not belong. This is a time that we change this. This is a time that we address the poverty mentality within us. Whether it was that we were raised with it, we were raised knowing that we didn't have enough money. We were raised with secondhand clothes and, Snickers from people. Or it was just a feeling that we got. Or being told by a teacher, by a caregiver, that we weren't smart enough, we weren't pretty enough, we weren't whatever it is that people measure themselves against others with. We weren't enough, we didn't measure up. This is a time where we need to address that darkness within us. Subconsciously, no matter how much success pulls us forward, this little voice inside of our head is going to go, well, when is it all going to fall apart? When is it all going to fail? You don't deserve this. The fact of the matter is, you more than deserve this, Gemini. Embrace it fully, passionately, and honorably. Do not let the darkness pull you under. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power of the moon to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini, and may you have a blessed moon.